The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users. On demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. There's a new story there that you haven't heard about turning September the 11th into a National Day of Service. You should read that and post your comments, hopefully in support of the proposal. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Well, one edge that candidate Barack Obama had over John McCain in the race for the White House was that he and his staff knew how to exploit the social networking aspects of the internet to get their message out directly to the voters and bypassing sometimes traditional media outlets. All of us now use social networking sites like Paltalk, Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace to keep in touch with the people we care about or the people we wish to influence. Of course, during our coverage of the presidential campaign here on News Talk Online on Paltalk.com, there were as many Republicans as there were Democrats sounding off, showing that even though the McCain campaign lagged behind in grasping and knowing how to utilize the new media, Democrats really don't hold the franchise on social networking, which means that in the next presidential campaign, you can be certain that the Republicans will have caught up with the Democrats, at least they hope so, solidifying the internet as the place to go for campaign news, information, and rhetoric. Joining us to talk about the continuing emergence of the web in social networking, whether for personal, business, or political use, is a familiar face on Paltalk, host of our occasional music scene programs, and author of the authoritative book on social networking, 33 Million People in the Room. To my right, your left, the beautiful, the vivacious, the lovely, the articulate Julia Powell. Welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Thank you so much, Gary. It's been a while.
I know, it's been too long since you've been here. Maybe we got to do another music scene so we can have you dancing on camp to some live music that's being played. I remember when you hosted the show with Lone Star, you were like rocking it there with them. That was pretty cool.
Well, they were pretty cool. And I think that, there's always a great opportunity to come rock out on Paltalk, whether we're talking about politics, social media, music, pop culture. The important thing is that you get that exchange with people, and I think that we all need to connect a little bit more, especially given the current economy. You need to feel that connection with people.
I agree 100%, and I'm sure the audience does, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So Obama did a great job. I mean, I'll tell you, I still get personal messages. Sorry, guys. I mean, I'm a very important person, so I get them. You don't. From Barack Obama, from Michelle Obama, even from Hillary Clinton. Something
when
about how
did you register?
No, I typed into everybody's website what's going on with your campaign, and that was it. But I never heard from John McCain. Only once or twice from their press folks. I heard from their press folks, but it was like every day I got a letter from the future president and the future first lady. I kept every one of them. They're in my scrapbook, actually.
Did that actually affect the way that you voted at the end of the day?
Are you kidding? Me? No, but maybe it did affect, I'm sure, and I'm sure you're going to agree with this, the people who were already supporters of Obama and motivated them to get out the vote.
Yes, and I think that another phenomenal thing that they realized from the onset within the Obama campaign was that when you are reaching out to people that are opting in, as you did by saying, please send me more information, I want to know more, they didn't reach out to you with, please give us money for this campaign. They reached out to find out to what extent you actually were interested in the campaign, how you might want to be involved. They directed you to a social networking site that was all about Obama, but they didn't actually hit you with the ask until the third or fourth step in, which is a huge difference in previous campaigns, I think, where there are many, many opportunities to kind of reach out to people and say, hey, we need that extra money, whether it's $500 or $5, we'd love to get your money. But understanding that you first have to make a connection with people, you have to establish that relationship before you ever get to the ask, was fundamental in Obama's ability to raise money, as well as galvanize people to go out and self-organize, motivate, go volunteer and go get those people that wouldn't normally have gone out and voted.
You know, you're writing an article about this issue. You're hearing about it first here on News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. This is like the precursor to the article that's going to appear in the Huffington Post.
Right.
And what I think is very interesting, and I'm going to share something that I don't know whether you meant to broadcast to the world, but I'm going to do it anyway, and that is even now, I suggested in the intro that the Republicans are going to get this and they're going to copycat Obama. And by the way, RNC, I hope you're paying attention because she's giving you some good free information here. But I suggested the Republicans would catch up. But I wrote this before we had coffee before the show. And during our little coffee break, you said, you know, you're writing this article and you're sending out emails to people, and the Democrats, boom, they're answering you immediately. The Republicans are lagging behind. Maybe they haven't learned anything, at least not yet, from Obama's successful campaign.
I think that we're all in a learning process right now, no matter what side of the political fence that you're sitting on. All of us are grappling with the opportunities that are presented through social media. I think that when it comes to the Republican Party, they've expressed very publicly that they saw the impact that social media, social networking had on Obama's win, and have pledged that they want to learn more. If you look at some of the notes going into the RNC, there were a lot of people that were taking workshops on how to use things like Twitter. Now, obviously, if you look at the party itself, you realize that there is a huge contingency of older people that really make up the fabric of the party who aren't necessarily as comfortable with social networking platforms. What I advocate in the book is social networking both on a face-to-face level as well as on an online level, that those two things go hand in hand. And that's really what Obama understood as well, where he had this inner circle of people that understand the politics of getting elected. But he also had this huge contingency that are on social networks, young people that had not necessarily voted in the past that like the whole idea of Obama and utilizing, Facebook to show, your allegiance to something that perhaps you didn't feel 4 years prior. But all of a sudden you're connecting the inner rim, the inner circle that's political, with the outer circle that's learning how to become more involved in politics. And I think that that's where the Republican seat really is right now. So you've got the inner rim of people that understand the politics, though I've been speaking to a lot of the younger Republicans and conservatives that really feel like they're not necessarily being heard. And they feel that way for multiple reasons. And again, you're right, I only heard from most of them today, even though I started sending out emails and tweets and messages on Facebook